Hello there, folks, and welcome to Let's Talk Sports live stream watch along of Wales versus France in the Guinness Six Nations. We're into round 4, the penultimate round, before we find out next weekend who will win the 2022 Six Nations. You could say Wales are out of it after they lost earlier in this tournament, but France, of course, the team to do it at the moment in terms of the only team that hasn't lost at the Six Nations this year so far. But Wales would love to get revenge on France. After all, it was France that stopped Wales from securing a Grand Slam last year in Paris. So anyway, both teams are lining up. The national anthems are being done at the moment under the lights at the Principality Stadium on a Friday night. They know, France, that this is probably their biggest test of the lot. And of course, they've got England next weekend. So they need to win 2 more matches, and then they'll win the Six Nations and add a Grand Slam to it. And there's a good few France fans in the crowd just being shown on the cameras. They look very spirited and passionate about this match tonight. And I must admit, I'm looking forward to this. I do think Wales will give them a good game. I do think France will win, though. I've got my prediction below me, which is France to beat Wales by more than 7 points. I think Wales are going to defend mainly in the first half, and I think they'll go for it in the second, because France have proven that they can get themselves quite distance away from their opponents from what we've learned in the Six Nations so far. And if France have a good start again here, I think Wales could fall behind. So let's see what happens here. Anyway, before the match does start, it'd be great to get your messages even throughout the match. Get in touch, let us know who you think's going to win. And yeah, can't wait for this match to start. Looks like the national anthem of Wales is about to start, which will be very loud indeed inside the Principality. I would put the sound on from my TV, but I always fear that any sound from it, including any songs that's being played in the stadium or on the TV coverage, I would probably have this video done for copyright, which is just typical of YouTube. But yeah, get in touch. Let us know you think who's going to win. Greg Livingston has got in touch saying, I'm going for a France win, with France being so dominant in this year's Six Nations. I can't see Wales winning this game. Going for a France 32-28. Les Messieurs. Very good. Sorry, Les Marseille. Greg also saying, remember, France can still win the Grand Slam where they beat all of the teams. Yeah, I was just pointing that out before. I think if they win this, obviously they've got England last. So either way, they've got probably the 2 toughest teams in the Six Nations to get that Grand Slam. I think for France, if they don't get a Grand Slam, it would be a shame for them. But at the same time, as long as they can get their hands on the Six Nations title, I would say that'll be a relief for them, because it's been so long since they've been top of the Six Nations table. I know they are currently, but I mean when the tournament is done and dusted. So it is a big one for France, and a Grand Slam is a bonus for them, I think. Jack Patient asking, mate, are you showing the rugger? Unless you mean rugby there. No, this is a watch along, so I'll be covering the game, letting you know how it all goes. I can't show you the match because of copyright. We've got Bob Jobs saying, come on, Wales. Any France fans watching, we have put a poll up, and a few of you have voted, and it's Wales that is leading the poll at 58%, France at 42%. Bob Jobs also says that a close match it will be, but France will win. Yeah, as I said, I've gone for France to win by 7 points. 7 points at least or more. I can't see Wales winning this, but who knows? The atmosphere and the occasion might give them that revenge of what happened last season in Paris. A last minute, pretty much a last second try from France, which we did a watch along on the channel, and I'll have to try. I should have put the clip on here for the coverage, but yeah, I went nuts. Even though I wasn't a France fan, I couldn't believe the ending of that match. Greg saying France have the best defensive coach in the world, Shane Edwards. I don't know why England did not go for him. Yeah, I mean, defensively they're good, but offensively they're incredible. They just don't stop. I still think the best match of this tournament was between them and Ireland back in Paris. Match had everything. Anyway, I better get the clock ready, which is the scoreboard below me. So that'll keep you up to date on what the score is and what time into the match it'll be. I'll try and be as close as I can with the match clock, since of course this is rugby and there is a bit of start and stopping quite a lot throughout the 80 minutes. Just getting ready for the kickoff. Or the drop kick in this case. The referee today is Matthew Carley, who's English. Assistants are Jacko Paper and Andrea Piardi. They're South African and Italian, so a good mix there. Referee's made the signal to both teams, making sure they're ready. And it will be France with the drop kick. So here we go then. It begins. Wales versus France at the Principality Stadium. So of course Wales in possession. So France with the ball with Jaminet. It's on the halfway point, pretty much on the Guinness logo. It does make me want to have a Guinness. I've got a bit of a dry throat today, so I wouldn't say no to a Guinness. But actually, at the same time, it would probably not help. If anything, Guinness gives me a dry throat the night after, but that's if I've had too many. On to phase 5 with France. I think the last one who had the ball there was Paul Willems. France already got a penalty. Yeah, they have. Took them 1 minute and 15 seconds. And already France have a penalty, which they've been specialists at in this tournament. They had quite a few against Ireland before they even scored their first try of that match. But apparently it was because one of the Wales players was not moving away. That's what the scoreboard was saying. So this is to get France ahead. Ooh, Jaminet. Yeah, I think he's got it. Yep, he has. 3 points there for France. Good start for the French. Didn't take them long to get points on the board. Early days, though, as we all know. Haven't seen Wales on the attack just yet. And already France, was deep in their own half. They've just made a big kick onto the opposite side. Another drop kick. This will be from Wales, from Dan Bigger. An obstruction against France. I think that was on the number 8, which is Aldrit. Greg asking me, are you in your kitchen, Jamie? No. I'm actually in my bedroom. I'm actually literally right now. I mean, that's my setup. That's where I normally sit for the watch-alongs, but I thought today I'd sit on my bed instead. I didn't really see much against that with the obstruction. But anyway, Wales have got a penalty. So So this is to get it back at 3-all. Dan Biggar's first kick of the game. Can he get it 1 out of 1? Ooh, yes, he does. On the foot, on the left-hand side of it. I can't imagine what the Welsh atmosphere is like there tonight. I mean, the atmosphere of the Welsh is just fantastic. They're so passionate about rugby. They love it more than football and any other sport in the country, that's for sure. So 3-all. Greg asking, Jamie, have you watched a bit of the golf? Had to suspend it again, Thunder and Lightning. Yeah, it's been like that for the first 2 days, hasn't it? They reckon it will go on. They'll play on the Monday as well to finish up the tournament. The Players' Championship, that is, of course. The biggest golf tournament outside the 4 majors in terms of prize money. So a lot at stake for any golfer that wins it. Justin Thomas won it last year. We don't know yet, Greg, but, or for any of you golf fans, but we might do a watch-along for the final day. But if it's going to be on Monday night, then that might be a bit tricky for me. But if it stays with Sunday, then we'll be watching. Anyway, France with the ball. They dropped it pretty much at the halfway point. Well, the referee has paused the clock. I better do the same. Paused it at 5:41. It's going to be our first scrum of the match. Pack weights, 922 kilograms for Wales. For France, it's 931. That didn't go on for long. France have the ball. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not your most regular rugby watcher, but there are times when I watch rugby and I have no idea what's going on with the referee. But I do love it how when they stop the match because of a foul or something like that, they actually explain the reason next to the scoreboard. So that helps a little bit. Helps me explain it to you lot. So we've got another scrum here. No idea why. I guess the last one was a catastrophe. Yeah, if you've just joined us, it's 3-all. Both teams with getting their penalty kicks right early on. France went ahead, then Wales responded with a penalty. And France have got the ball after that scrum. Oh, nearly lost it. Well held by Aldret. Ball down on the ground for now. France will kick it out their half. And it will land on Dan Biggar. He'll kick it back into France's half. See, that's the bit I don't get. Why do they keep kicking it back to each other? He's sprinting for it. He's nowhere near the end of it. Kicking game not the best there. Oh, France might get a try. One man remaining. They got one of them down. Nearly France broke through. As I said, it just shows how good offensively they have been so far in this Six Nations. France getting a few yards forward onto phase 5. Phase 6. They're playing it down to the left. Should be a try. One last pass, no problem, easy as pie. France get their first try of the match. And it was number 7 who scored the try. It was a simple walk-in, no challenge against him at the end. Anthony Yalakic with the goal, with the try. That's 2 tries for him after, this is his 18th cap, so it's 8-3 France. But let us know, folks, was that poor from Wales? Because France made that look so easy. Or was that just how good France are at this year's Six Nations? Don't be shy, folks. Do get in touch like Greg has, and I'll read out your messages. He also says, yes, France. Currently still Wales in our poll, leading at 57% to 43%. Could that change at all during the match? Be interesting if it does. Remember, Wales are trying to stop France from getting closer to a Grand Slam. So Roman, oh no, sorry, it's not sure who did that. Well, the French are jumping in the stand, and Jaminet, sorry. Well, he played the try pass at the end, and he's just scored the conversion. So 10-3 to France. Ooh, my clock's actually a bit ahead. Oh, and already Thomas Williams has gone off for Kieran Hardy. A head injury change, apparently. Oh dear. Bob Job saying, long night ahead, Wales. I mean, as I said, that try was very easy. But again, they're playing the kicking game, both teams. But, you know, only 10 minutes in, we've already had a bit of a good start. Already some points on the board for both teams. But again, Wales having to defend. I mean, do get in touch, folks. What is the problem Wales have got this year at the Six Nations? They lost to England. I think that's the only defeat they've had. Or did they lose to Ireland? Or have they still got to play Ireland? I can't remember. So first line out of the game, and it's France's. Oh, it's gone out of play. Not the expected catch was dropped, and the thrower couldn't keep it in. He fell to the ground as the ball went past him. Oh, and we are going to have a scrum. Excuse me. Yeah, France won the last try. Not try, scrum. Yeah, you wonder how many beers the Welsh are going to drink tonight, whether that's because of defeat and just drown their sorrows or because of ending France's Grand Slam. Early day still, but France yet again. This is fantastic rugby. Onto the right-hand side. Oh, just had to go back a bit, but France were on their way to getting a second try. It's now with Aldret again. He's had so much involvement already in this match, 13 minutes in. Ball down on the ground again. Should be face free, I'd imagine. Unless I can't count. Oh, no, not forward pass. Is it? Yeah, it's got to be. That looked like a forward pass to me. France could have had a second try, but Wales got themselves back behind there to just sort themselves out defensively. Great sprint at first for France. And, don't think France could have done much more. They were getting there, but Wales were able to get back intact. Greg's helped us a little bit here with his good knowledge of rugby, saying that the Wales team have some young players and some experienced players like Dan Biggar. Of course, no Alan Wynne-Jones, is there, for Wales? I love it how I put him on the thumbnail, yet he's not even in the squad. Shows what I know. But one of the French players is having his hand bandaged. And it's Jaminet, their kicker. Oh, the clock's been paused. Forgot to pause it. So in terms of, I was going to tell you some stats, but it disappeared straight away. So we've got a scrum here again. Wales with the possession at the moment. Crystal Rose says, "Hi all, hope you're well." I don't know how big rugby is in America. Not as big. They always have a US team at the Rugby World Cup. France here having to play from the back. Referee's paused it. I think has he given a penalty? There's a Welsh fan off feet. Yeah, I think it is. There's a Welsh fan in the crowd with a good, what looked like a red, what is it called? Strongbow purple, whatever you call it. Strong fruit or something like that. And yeah, he's definitely going to be enjoying that. He shouted, "Come on," standing up, looking very well drunk. Don't blame him though. Kamal Foria asking, "Can you guys send me a streaming live link, please?" It's on BBC. So if you're looking to watch online, then BBC iPlayer or S4C. Best 4C is pretty much the same as BBC, but it's a Welsh version of the BBC, since this is a Wales match. So penalty scored for Wales. It was no problems for Dan Biggar. That was right next to him. So 10-6. But Wales know that they have to try and keep intact with France, because France, as I said, could have had a second try. Strong bow dark print. That's what it is, Greg. Sorry. My mind is just not working. I should know that. It's actually, I do quite like Strongbow dark fruit. It's a nice drink. Too many of those, though, as my dad would say, it would tickle my brain. So 17 minutes gone. It's a cracking game here. Wales 6, France 10. Good challenge. Ooh, that was a bit of a slam. Oh, Yep, as you'd think, it's going to happen at some point. They're starting to push each other around. Crystal saying that in terms of rugby in the United States, she says, I've only known of university teams. It isn't very big here. It is like rowing. Yeah, I mean, I've noticed there's like a new big league. I don't know if it's a new league, but the company who I work for at Genius Sports, we've got the rights to deal with the data of the rugby in America. Again, though, don't know if that means it's big or not, but it's something, I guess. And the US, as I said, they always have a team at the Rugby World Cup, but they never expect to do wonders. I think if they ever got out of the groups, they'd be pretty chuffed with themselves. But I don't know if they ever have. I've never seen them come out of the groups. Not in the. My first World Cup was 2003. Not a bad first World Cup as an Englishman because we won it in Australia as well, which I thought was mightily impressive. Phase 6, France might get a second. No, not for now. Wales just keeping them intact for now. Kamal saying that I'm not from UK. All streaming websites seems down. I mean, I don't really have any other solution, to be honest. I don't know if you've ever used VPN, but you could always say that you can put your VPN set to United Kingdom. That might work. Otherwise, stay on here and I'll keep you updated. If you haven't yet, folks, subscribe to the channel, give us a like. And get in touch on the live chat page like some of you are. And vote on our poll. France leading the poll now. They weren't before, but now they are. A few votes in now. France 59% to Wales 41%. Oh, clock paused again. I did try out rugby in year 7 at school, which is basically, in England, that's the first year in high school. And it was at a time when I was happy to try out any sport. And I tried rugby out because I just enjoyed it. But then I did one proper session. I didn't really properly do it since, as in a session after school. So it wasn't a forced PE lesson or anything like that. Gareth Thomas is coming off for Wales and Wyn Jones is coming on. So that's a second replacement for Wales. And we haven't even reached 20 minutes. So clock back going again. We've got a scrum here for Wales to start. Greg saying, Jamie, I played rugby a few weeks ago. I had my ear bit rip off and the physio used a type of glue and I started wearing a scrum cap. Oh, God. Do you mean a scrum cap as in what, like, Petr Cech used to wear at Chelsea after his head injury at Reading? Scrum about to happen again. So we've reached the halfway point of the first half. Wales 6, France 10. Wales with the only try so far. Wales getting their points from penalties. 2 penalties. France have now got it. They've kicked it into the Wales half. And Wales have kicked out of play in France half. But it didn't bounce before it went out. France tried to do the same. How big of the piece of your ear came off, Greg? I do hear that does happen quite a bit in rugby. Wyn Jones, I've noticed, he puts plasters all over his ears for each game. despite him being a tough cookie. Oh, we've got a line out here for Wales. I think this is their first of the game. And Wales win it successfully. Now this is a good chance here for Wales. They could get a try. Kicking it into the try zone if one of the Wales players gets there. No, France have got it. Important pick-up for them, but it was close. It was near the post. Now what's the referee saying here? From one or two of the French players is, look, they don't seem happy about this. Not a bad kick from, I think it was Bigot. It was mightily close. There was one Welshman up against 4 French players in the air, and he nearly beat them when jumping up for it. He jumped ahead of them, got his hand to it, but he couldn't pick it up at the end. And then luckily with France, the bounce was good to them, and they picked it up on the try line. So we've got a scrum here for Wales, right in front of the try zone. Perfect chance. Well, I say perfect chance for Wales, but it looks as though France have just had something in favour from the referee. Oh, it was a collapsing scrum against Wales. So France will be happy to just kick this out as far as they can. Yep. Oh yeah, it was a terrible scrum. Looking at the replay. France with the line out. And Wales have won the line out. Incredible. They're playing it down the right. They're going from left to right on the try on their line. Still got it for now. It's with Owen Watkin, and it's kicked out of play after phase 5. Did that bounce before it? Oh, nasty. Greg saying it was the back of my ear, so basically my ear was hanging off. Ow. Did you feel it? As in, was it painful? I bet you had to wait until someone told you it was hanging off. I bet you didn't know at first. France have got a line out. Yes, comfortable, that one. Nice and easy. About 20 yards away from their own try area. And then it's kicked forward, straight to one of the Welsh players in their own half. Wales with another kick low, then France will kick it up in the air. I mean, that's what Martin Johnson, the former England captain, said on BBC before this match. He did say that Wales should play a lot of the ball in the air, and we're seeing quite a lot of that. Yeah, Principality Stadium. It's great to see it being back in the Six Nations this year. I think because of all the matches being behind closed doors last year, Wales didn't play it at Principality. They played it in some smaller grounds. I'd imagine the venue didn't see the point in them playing there. I was surprised they didn't, just because the Welsh players could still see it as a home game. So I don't know why they thought it was a good idea to step away from it, really. Greg saying when his ear was hanging off, he noticed it straight away. He says he was in, I won't say the words, but he was in let's just say he was in a bit of pain. We got Bagend 173 saying, "Come on, Wales." How are you, Bagend? Where are you watching the match today? Do get in touch, folks. Let us know where you're watching from and who you're supporting. France River line out. Oh, just got it. Arno saying, "Good morning from Malaysia. Come on, France." What's rugby like in Malaysia, Arno? What do you think? Bagender's watching from England, I think. But remember, folks, if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and give us some support. We'd really appreciate it. It's free to do so. Wales with a line out. Oh, Wales with Owen Watkin. He's gone down, he plays the ball back. Oh, Wales nearly losing the ball. Oh, they just got out of it. They've still got it. That could have been very dangerous. Adam Beard picking it up for Wales. They're at the halfway point of the pitch. Oh, and referee's blown his whistle here. Weymouth. Paul Hazeldine saying, "I'm a Kidderminster FC football blogger." I think that's what it says. Kidderminster, mate, I was gutted for them. I thought they were going to beat West Ham in the FA Cup a few weeks ago. I really thought you were going to. So we've got another scrum here. We've had quite a few of them. Yeah, next weekend is the final round of the Six Nations, all happening on the Saturday, next Saturday that is. One match on after each other. I think that's every rugby fan's dream, a day like that, the final day of the Six Nations. It all finishes off with France versus England, so I can't wait. And we're going to do a watch along for that. So that's 8 p.m. UK time next Saturday, France versus England. So do join me for that. That'll be our next Six Nations and final watch along of the tournament. I would do one of the matches tomorrow, but I'm actually at Old Trafford tomorrow for the Man United Spurs game that's in the evening, so I'm afraid I can't do any watch alongs tomorrow, I'm afraid, folks. Bagend asking if George North is playing. No. And all right, here come Wales. 9 minutes till half time. They might just try and get a try on the right wing. Their man is down at the moment, but they'll play the ball back. It's now with Beard. And he's down. And what is France? What's the referee saying here? I think it's a penalisation towards Wales. Not releasing, apparently. So France will get a drop kick. So yeah, the fixtures tomorrow. You've got Italy versus Scotland in Rome, I think it is, at 2:15. And then the final game tomorrow, big one, England versus Ireland at 4:45. Which, yeah, England and Ireland, whoever wins that, has a chance of maybe winning the Six Nations still, but not as a Grand Slam. Wyn Jones has gone off because of a head injury and has been replaced by Gareth Thomas. Wyn Jones didn't start the match either, so he actually came on earlier on in this match to, I can't remember who it was he replaced. Now with Jonathan Davies for Wales. Ball in their own half at the moment. 7 minutes till half time. Oh, drop there from Dan Biggar, but his teammates nearby to collect the pieces. Tamik with a good run. It's always funny seeing a player just run at Wales players. Oh, and France. Oh, no, there's still 2 men back. They should be all right, Wales. Fought for a moment. France got through again. There's always 1-man final at the end. So France going for it here. They'd love to get another try before half-time just to get that gap going, because they know that this stadium and the Wales team spirit, doesn't matter what form they're on, they are not easy to beat. Remember, they had a little comeback against, a little late comeback against England a few weeks ago, which England still won, of course, but Wales, you just know with Wales that they'll keep going until the end. You can't not admire Welsh rugby. You really can't. They absolutely love it. I've been to 1 or 2 Welsh club matches as well, and you wouldn't think, I don't know, you would, maybe you would, but you know, there's a lot of fans that go to them, you know, compared to like a football game in Wales in terms of, okay, you have fans at Cardiff matches and Swansea matches because they're in the Championship, so you're going to get a lot of fans in those big stadiums, but in terms of other Welsh football clubs, they're the only 2 teams, well, and Wrexham and Newport, but they're all in the English league system. The teams in the Welsh league system, you don't really have fans going to, which is known as the Welsh Premier League. Good kick there by Dan Biggar. Great kick. Lovely bounce. It bounced quite far from the line. I thought maybe the France player was running to collect it, would get there in time, but he didn't. So a line out here for Wales. Ryan Elias to take it. The number 2 man. Comfortable as you like, no challenge against that. Line out successful. Oh, I've just realised my clock's quite ahead here. We're still on 36 minutes. So Wales, about 25 yards away. They're approaching the try towards the left-hand side. France still now leading on our poll for quite a bit at 58%. If you haven't yet, do vote. Again, touch on the live chat page and subscribe to the channel. 3 minutes to go till we reach the half-time break. Oh, what's the referee done here? France, one of the French players not moving away, so I think Wales have got themselves a penalty. And if it is to be where I think it's going to be, they should just only be a point behind with 2 minutes to go. Yeah, it's right in the centre, right in front of it, a few yards away, no problem. Of course, for Wales, I think this is more just to, I think their fight now is to win the remaining games if they can. And to just make sure they don't finish 5th or 6th. Simple kick for Dan Biggar, one of the easiest kicks of his career. And it's now 10-9, so only a point separates them going into half-time at this rate. Which is exactly the kind of contest we were probably expecting in the first half at least. I still feel like the way France have been playing, they could still get quite further away. .30 seconds till we reach the 40. Oh, random kick there from France. I think they might have been going for in between the sticks. It must have been because it was Jaminet with the kick. And he's their kicker. Yeah, he was going for it. He was going for it, but he was just too far out. And it was well wide anyway. No idea if it's windy in the stadium. I'd have thought not, but who knows? It is Wales. Anyway, half-time then. at the Principality. It has been a very interesting contest. I would say Wales have had a fighting spirit there, but France, they got one try. They could have had two, but luckily for Wales, they were able to resist. And luckily for that, they've been rewarded by just ending the first half, just a point behind their visitors. And who knows what this second half can have. Do let us know on the live chat page what you think is going to happen in this second half. Can Wales upset France and win this match to end France's Grand Slam, or can France improve themselves for the second half with whatever's been talked about at half time in the next 20 minutes or so? Do get in touch. If you haven't yet, give us a like, do subscribe and vote on the poll on who you think's going to win. But yeah, very interesting contest so far. It's what is good to know is that come the start of the second half, we know that there's still quite a game to go on. So in terms of possession, France have had 54%, Wales 46%. In terms of tackles made, Wales with the more of 67 towards France's 40. And the carries for France is 58, while Wales have got 39. So that's stats quite similar to each other as well. But meanwhile, I'm sure some of us would like a quick break of what has been a very intriguing first 40 minutes. So anyway, do get in touch. Don't go anywhere, folks. I'm going to have a quick few minutes away from the laptop, and then we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. We're about to get going for the second half. Just getting ready for Wales to kick off, both teams back on the field. I'll read some of your messages if I can once this match has got underway and start the clock again. There we go. So, very much still in it, both teams. I think it'll be interesting to see how France approach this second half, because I think Wales might be playing more of a kicking game. They haven't scored a try yet, let's not forget. But they like to always give it a go in the second half, even when they're behind in terms of the scoreline. But do get in touch on the live chat page. What do you think will happen in the second half? Let us know. Still on our poll, France leading at 55%, while Wales at 45% in terms of our predictions. I did say France will beat Wales, but only by 7 points or more. And, oh, it looks like Uni Antonio has gone off for France, and Mohamed Harrios has replaced him. I think that is the first replacement made by France in this match. Wales, good line out there on the halfway point. I'll have a dry throat today. Hey. Can't beat water. Thanks to those that have subscribed during this stream. Really appreciate it. We're now at just reached the 6,250 mark. So thank you very much for helping us get there. We'd love it if you subscribe, if you haven't already, to any of you that I'm speaking to. I agree with Brian M here, saying Ireland really got back at France in the second half. So let's see, may the best team win. They did. They did. France able to hold out at the end. And Wales nearly got a comeback going on against England in the second half between them two. So Wales, Ireland, France and England at this moment in time, you never know until it's finished with these opponents. They're all very good teams. France are known for being bottle jobs. I wouldn't be surprised if they did lose this. And they could, you know, if they lost this, then the confidence and the form isn't there going into the final game against England. The advantage, though, for them is to be in front of a home crowd. Yeah, very interesting contest, this tournament. Doesn't matter if France win or not tonight. There's still a chance it could still be either England's or Ireland's, depending on who wins on tomorrow. France with the kick into Wales half. Dan Bigger. Sorry, no, that's Liam Williams, actually. On to phase 5 for Wales. Oh, no, that's not. I thought for a moment that was a forward pass, but no, Wales did that absolutely fine. Phase 7. Oh, Wales penalised for not releasing France ball. A high five to each other from some of the teammates in blue. So line out for France. This is their first of the second half. Wales hoping to plot a revenge here after losing a Grand Slam in Paris last season from a last-minute try. I might have to re-watch that try after this match tonight because it's been so long since I last watched it. Great match, that was. One of the best. First ever rugby watch-along we did on this channel. And it was full of drama. Oh! Offside for Wales. Nigel Owens was just in the commentary box for BBC just then. Of course, he's Welsh. He was the Rugby World Cup 2015 final referee. I think France have got a penalty here. Which, if they get this in, should be a simple straight shooter. They'll be 4 points clear. And Jaminet gets the try. Sorry, not the try. The penalty. And it's 13-9. Oh, hang on. My second half clock hasn't started. Whoops. That's handy. It's now up to... There we go. Brian M saying that Wales are giving away too many penalties in the French half. They won't win if that keeps up. Greg saying, Jamie, the player championship have been abandoned for tonight, so the final round will be played on Monday. Oh, that's annoying. I was really hoping we'd do the final round watch along on Sunday night, but Monday night I'm off to see, well, if it goes to plan, I'm supposed to be going to see the new Batman film, The Batman, with my brother, so I might have to sadly miss that. But I was hoping to maybe do a golf watch along for that. We haven't done one since... Oh, when did we last do a golf watch along? Oh, it was the Ryder Cup. But we will do the Masters. Don't worry about that. I'll be getting ready for that. I never miss the Masters, so that's next month. I don't know which date, but we'll be doing it either way. So Wales have got a big moment here. They've got a line out right in front of the try line of France. If they get this right, get the line out one, and then who knows where they can go from here. Ryan Elias to take the line out. Wales have won the line out. There's a good chance here. They're pushing free forward with the ball. And they're pushing one of the French players in towards them. This might work for Wales. Have they got it? It's in a pile. Referee has to have a look. I don't think it's a try. I'm not seeing the Welsh players celebrate. Wonder if the TMO might have to come in here. I think it is a France ball after all that. Huge chance for Wales that was. So they must have just never got the ball on the ground there. Bag end 173 saying that Wales are good at rugby but not football. Yeah, last few years they've improved a lot, their football team. I get what you mean though, where rugby is their preferred sport. Oh, it's a Wales ball. Brian M saying, now don't F this up, Wales. Yeah, this is a big moment in the game. They've got it where they want it. Jamie Burgoyne's got in touch. Hello, Burgoyne, one of our moderators. He's saying the Frenchman did a rugby goal. Sounds like something Alan Partridge would say if he did rugby. We've got Paul Stevens getting in touch, waving a couple of flags. Are they the Welsh flags, Paul? I can't quite see because they seem to be black flags. I'd imagine it's Wales because I've put Wales flag on YouTube as an emoji and it turns up as a black flag. No idea why it does that. It's really annoying. We've got a scrum here for Wales to start on. 13 minutes till the end. We got only 4 points that separate Wales and the team at the top of the Six Nations table, France. Two more matches of the fourth round tomorrow. Italy versus Scotland and then England versus Ireland. Big game, England-Ireland, whatever the outcome of this match, because whoever wins that has still got a chance from stealing the Six Nations crown from France next weekend. Kirsty Stanton says hi. Hello, Kirsty. But yes, join us next Saturday at 8 o'clock in the evening, UK time. We'll be doing the watch-along of England. Sorry, well, it's actually France versus England because it's in France. And we should know the outcome after that of who wins the Six Nations and if there's a Grand Slam still existing after this match tonight. How's your week been, Kirsty? So Wales winning the scrum there. Now onto the left-hand side, 30 yards out. You do feel like Wales are more up for this. I'd say even in the last 10 minutes of the first half, Wales, I think, have been the better team. France's eagerness and danger of the first half an hour that we saw has kind of been decrepit since. Greg saying, Jamie, I would not go to the United game tomorrow against Spurs just because of how shit United have been this season. Someone's got to. That's probably why my friend who's a season ticket holder gave me the ticket. Oh, foul play against Wales, France ball. But yeah, I've got tickets to the Atletico Madrid game as well on Tuesday, which could end terribly, but who knows. It's 1-1 on aggregate, so we're still in it. Oh, hang on, the clock's just been paused. Yeah, Paul confirming that they were Wales flags. I thought they were. I think we've got a couple of placements here for the visitors while the clock is paused. In terms of action areas, 83% has been more towards for Wales in the France half. Only 7% for France. Excuse me. So Julian Marchand has gone off for Peter Marvaca, and then Cyril Bailly has been replaced by Jean-Baptiste Gros. So those were the two replacements for France. Kirsty Stanton saying, I think Rangers could possibly make it to the Europa League final and maybe win. Let's see if they get to the semis. I don't see why they couldn't. They're clearly in high spirits for the Europa League this season. But we shall see. don't get me wrong, that win over Dortmund was fantastic, but Dortmund I don't think are a very good team. I think that defeat for them was coming. I think sadly for the Bundesliga, that's their second best team. And I think that's the problem with the Bundesliga. It is just mainly Bayern Munich, and then the rest will follow. One or two of the French coaches in the stands looking a little frustrated. So at the moment, they're probably thinking, you know, go and win this game. Don't screw it up. There's a Grand Slam still to win here. Brian saying Wales keep effing up when they're in an attack situation. France will win it as Wales don't seem to be able to correct it. Oh, clock's paused again. Yeah, in terms of handling errors, actually, France have got more, which is 6, and Wales have got 5. Another replacement. This time it's for Wales. Brian Elliott getting replaced by Dewey Lake. And we have a scrum. Oh. Yep, that's France's ball. Tough scrum that was. Wales nearly got out of it. Greg asking, what are your thoughts on the game tomorrow? Are you confident? If you're on about the Man United Spurs game, I'm not that confident, but Spurs is the right team to play when you've had a shit game recently. Let's be honest. I'm not saying Spurs won't win, but I'm also up to go against them. But you know, Spurs thrashed Everton the other day, and they beat Man City at the Etihad a few weeks ago. So I think we're playing them at the wrong time, but I'm confident. I am confident still, but they've just been shit all season, United. They just really have, and I don't think they're going to solve it tomorrow, are they? Not with that squad. Be good to get a win anyway. Ahead of Tuesday night against Atletico. I think tactically they'll be very annoying to play against. If we know Diego Simeone's tactics. So Wales have just kicked the ball out. Wales with the line out then. Greg saying, just hope the fridge, brackets Harry Maguire, does not play. I expect him to play because if Varane is still injured, then it'll be him and Lindelof. Brian M saying that England v Ireland, I'm neither confident or unconfident, lol. It'll be a battle. Ireland are a better team, but Twickenham is not an easy place to go. Burgoyne, I like this question. If you could pick any member of LTS to score a conversion, who would it be? Definitely not Joe, as in Joe Stanley. I just can't see him kicking it. It depends how far away it is. If it's very close, then any of us should be able to, really. But kicking a rugby ball is not easy. I've tried it, and it's a lot harder than I thought. Oh, Wales going for a big jump there to win the ball. Definitely not Joe Stanley. Sorry, mate. Maybe Luke. I think Luke might. There's something about Luke. I think he might be able to kick it. He's quite a big bloke, so I feel like he could. Definitely not you, Burgoyne. Yeah, there's something about Stuart, isn't there? He's always got a secret weapon. Thomas Francis is coming off for Wales. Dylan Lewis to come on. But yeah, I'd probably say Stuart or Luke. Joe Crosland's, no offence, mate, but I don't think you could. Seb True doesn't even know what rugby is. Last time I checked, he thought it was a bottle of milk. So I don't trust a man who doesn't even know what rugby is. So that is my answers for you. When I say quite a big bloke, Burgoyne, I mean like because he's got quite a bit in him. I feel like he could kick the ball quite high and got power. But it's whether or not he can get it in the air. You can hit it with power, but that might just still go on the floor. We now have a scrum for France as we reach the hour mark. We just changed my clock. It's a few seconds ahead. There we go. Greg saying, what does Eric Bailly need to do to have a chance of getting a game? Why not put him alongside with Lindelof? Well, I'll tell you this now. Eric Bailly is just as shit. I'm sorry. He's just not. There's no defender at Man United I would be confident with unless, apart from Raphael Varane. I don't trust any of the others. I don't trust Lindelof. I think it was Stretford Paddock early this week did a do you sell or keep on every United player, and they all said that they'd keep Lindelof. I don't know why. I mean, his defending was absolutely atrocious the other night. Oh, clock's been paused again. Looks like one of the Wales players are being treated. So 20 minutes to go. France in control in terms of the scoreboard, but I think there's still a try in this. Not sure who, but maybe Wales. I put my money on Wales to get a try. They keep knocking on the door. So another scrum to come. I think Eric Bailly might be injured as well, Greg. I'm not sure, but the guy's just always injured, so I'm not sure if. I'd imagine he is free. If Rangnick is as ruthless as they say he is, he would probably actually not play Maguire tomorrow. Oh, we've paused it again. I hate when they pause it so many times. I think Wales have just made a replacement. Seb Davis coming off for Ross Moratti. Brian M saying, my wife just told me Wales are going to win it. I think it's anyone's at this point. But France have been very quiet since half time. Here come Wales now, coming out of the scrum. Ball down at the moment, but they're going to go down the right, it seems. France defensively have been superb to watch, though. And they have been, I say that, this is a great kick. And Wales might, he's dropped it. That was a try, I thought, for Wales. They were literally, you got to be kidding me. Well, that was there. That was there for Wales, but a drop. He dropped the ball. They're on the left wing. They're the right pass at the right time, but he dropped the ball. And luckily for France, they'll thank their lucky stars there, because Wales, that was going to be a try, I'm sure of it. But they're going to keep going, Wales. They've still got the ball. They've had to bring it back from their own half. Now they're on the right-hand side. Ball's just rolled out of play. Momentum there again for Wales. They couldn't have got any closer. I'm saying how good France defensively they've been, but then that kick up in the air just changed everything. Let's watch it again. He dropped it, and if he had just kept the ball, it just came out of his fingers. Rugby in has got in touch saying, isn't all for France. Bob Job saying, DM Jonathan Davis. Stuart Davis has got in touch saying, asked Sue to take me to the best stream on YouTube. It took me here. Of course. Of course. He says, how are you doing, mate? Watching this at the pub with a group of Welsh fans. Why'd you do such a thing, Stu? Get away from them. You're English, man. I'm good. I'm very good. Not really sure who I want to win this, really. I think if Wales did win this, it really does open up the Six Nations again. And Brian M saying exactly what I've been stressing over the last minute or so, saying that should have been a Welsh try, yeah. It was there. France knew it, but they had to rely on a bit of luck to avoid it, and they got that luck. Clock's paused again. Just over a quarter of an hour to go. You do feel like France would be up for another conversion or, well, a penalty. Another penalty score before Wales get any more points, and they should come home dry. Dylan Cretin has come on for France. Wales have made a replacement too. Jonathan Davis has gone off. Louis Rees-Zammit has come on. Gamer Brosy says Wales. Bob Job saying Louis Rees-Zammit will score. He has just come on. Exactly quarter of an hour to go. France with the ball. I think if they get the try now, it could be one hand for France on this match. And you could say one hand on the Six Nations trophy going into the final round. And there's a drop kick. Oh, just wide for France. It went past the right post. Not a bad kick, but not good enough, not accurate enough. Stuart saying, I want France to win, as it would be funny with my group. I think either way, mate, with your Welsh friends, they'll be drinking either way, whether it's because they win or they'll just drown their sorrows. There's a patch at the Principality that's empty. Now, I'm wondering, could they not sell out the whole stadium? Or I wonder what that's all about. Matches like this would not normally just be a sellout regardless. Remember, folks, if you love your rugby, subscribe to this channel, Let's Talk Sport. And we've got more watch-alongs coming up, mainly next Saturday for the final match of the Six Nations. France versus England next Saturday at 8 p.m. So do join me for that. I can't wait. France playing Ireland tomorrow, as Brian M will be aware of, who is Irish. Oh, clock paused again. With a scrum coming up. Now what's going on here? What's the referee doing? He's looking at a TMO here. So we've got a TMO review. I think it's for one of the tackles from one of the French players on Wales's number 11. It's quite an aggressive challenge, so I can see if the referee gives him a sin bin. So Wales have had to kick it out of play. Brian M saying, I've lost count of how many times where I've lost the ball in attacking position. Maybe that's just how good France are. Maybe teams like Wales are just a bit too rattled and think too much about it, while France just do their usual thing of defending, because it is just so difficult. And that drop of the ball, which should have been a try for Wales, I think in their head they might think that that might have been our only chance to get that try. They're on phase 8 and they're on the halfway point and they've just kicked it forward. But at this moment in time, France are doing everything they can to win this match. As I say, though, all it takes is a try for Wales. A penalty wouldn't be enough because that means they'd only go a point behind, but any point helps right now. We have 12 minutes to go. Line out coming up for France. In terms of possession this second half, Wales have had more, which doesn't surprise me. 56% they've had. 44% for France. Wales with the ball in their own half. Have we got what happened last year, where the team who wins it gets the last-minute try? I think that was a real confidence boost towards France, them winning that match, because, okay, they didn't win the Six Nations. Wales still won it. But to stop a very good rugby team and to prove that they are an upcoming team like they have been trying to build over the last 2-3 years, that was a big win for them, and they just didn't stop fighting. Bit of a kicking game going on here between Wales and France. Seen a bit of that tonight, especially in the first half. Ball in the air. Oh no, Wales have got it. It was in the middle of quite a few Blues plays there. Chance here for Wales on the right wing. They saw a gap, they went for it. Tackle now made. Wales still have it. They're going to go from right to left. 10 minutes to go. You do wonder if Wales did get the try here, would that be too early? Because France would know that the last 10 minutes, they've just got to go for it. They do need to get more possession if they were going to do that. Here come Wales now. Kick forward yet again, lost it. While the match is paused. Oh, France offside apparently. I'll just go let my cat out the room. Hang on. There's one or two frustrated Welsh fans that they got the camera on in the stands. So scrum here. Oh, got to pause it again. Antoine Dupont has been taken off for Maxime Luca. Bag end 173 says hi. Hello, bag end. Well, they were about to start the scrum, but referee having to have a few words again. Yes, don't forget to subscribe, folks. Give us a like as well. Your support is very important to us. Bag end saying welcome back, welcome back. Saying he's back, welcome back, bag end. Now we finally going to get Wales doing this scrum. Time is ticking. Opportunities are starting to run out for them, Wales, but they might just go for it here. Big storming run on the left. Stopped for now. Here come Wales now. They're about 20 yards away. Phase 5. Nearly oh, they've lost it again. Intercepted. And the match has been stopped, and Wales penalised for not moving away. And France players just celebrating a little there because they know that each time they do that, they're a step closer to getting the win. But it looks as though France are just happy to defend this until the end, because they've not gone forward at all in this second half, only to score that conversion, which at the moment is looking to be quite important, that conversion. Good kick. Some of the French fans singing away in their blue kits, enjoying lots of beer, I think. Be interesting if there's quite a lot of French people at work in Cardiff. Nice night out for them, if so. But the French coach is up in the stands, looking very calm at the moment. I'm sure they're quite nervous, though. Such a big match this is. So line out there, won by France. Could they go for it now? Could they seal the deal and get a try or whatever they could do to extend the lead with 5 minutes remaining? Oh, and their kick didn't come out as good because Wales have intercepted. Big run here for Wales on the left-hand side. Will Rowland's taken down for now. Oh, Wales penalised again, not releasing. Either way for France, that just kills more seconds. Ooh, hang on, folks. I've just noticed my laptop battery is dying. Let me just make sure it doesn't die, which is rather annoying. Hello. There we go. Sorry, folks. My laptop needed charging. The cable can only go so far. So, meanwhile, France have the ball with less than, well, just about under 5 minutes to go. Clock still ticking, and it is a long-range effort this will be for France to take this penalty. But if they score this, I think it's fair to say that France have probably won the match. Big kick this. Who knows if Wales can get the try and then score their conversion, they'd end as a draw. Big kick this. He's kicked it so wide. So, match not over yet. Wales have still got a chance. They've picked up from the kick and they've kicked it out for a line out. I think he'll be a bit annoyed about that. Let me just change my clock. Bob Job saying defense, defense. 2.5 minutes. Of course, for any of you who aren't used to rugby, they don't really do stoppage time in rugby because of the fact that they pause the clock when they need to during the match. So when it reaches 80, that is pretty much it. Once the ball's pretty much out of play or kick, or the team who is attacking loses the ball, that is pretty much it. 2 minutes to go. France got the ball and they'll just keep holding on to it, I think. Now on the halfway line, France just ticking the clock down, I'd say. Now they've kicked it forward. So Wales have got the possession. This is it now. This is, if they have any chance of winning the game, they've got to do it now. Still in their own half. Nearly dropped the ball and lost the possession there in their attempts to come back. Greg saying if France win this match, you have to say France's defence has been fantastic. Absolutely. They've had a little bit of luck with Wales dropping that ball, but yeah, they've been brilliant. Into the last minute now, 50 seconds. Oh, what's the referee signalled here? I think it's going to be a scrum. But what a win this will be for France, going into the final round, winning all 4 matches. A great tournament. All clock's been paused. At 79-22. But yeah, if you're wondering what our next... Oh, Julian Marchand has been given the Guinness Six Nations Player of the Match. We're going to end our poll on the live chat page. Well, despite the fact that Wales are seconds away from losing yet again in this Six Nations, lots of Welsh fans singing along in the stands with pride. Mattis Lebel has just come on for Dante. That will probably be France's last replacement of the night. The clock is ticking again. 30 seconds left on the clock, and we've got a Wales scrum here in their own half. So if they do win this ball, they've got to just go for it. Right, here they go, Wales. As I said, win straight from the scrum and just go for it. On the halfway line. Take it down for now. Every tackle France make, it just gets them a bit closer. They'll be keeping an eye out for if they can intercept the ball. Then once they have, that'll be it. We've reached the 80 minutes. We're in the red zone. It's quite nerve-wracking because this is how France won the match between these two last year. Wales will keep going until it's out of play. Or if France intercept. Remember, a penalty for Wales wouldn't be enough anyway. They'd lose by a point. Oh, France have intercepted. And the moment they get the chance, they'll kick this out of play. Yes. And they celebrate in the stands, but the clock's still ticking on the scoreboard. No, I think it is over. France have won a very big match indeed. They keep their winning streak going and the Grand Slam going. 4 wins out of 4 with 1 round to go. And they have won at one of the most difficult venues there is in rugby. And that is the Principality Stadium. They have silenced the Welsh here in Cardiff. They're going to go home absolutely delighted. And they know that they are just 1 win away from the Dream Grand Slam and getting their hands for the first time in a very good while, over 10 years ago, of when they last won the Six Nations crown. It has ended. Wales 9, France 13. Before we go and end the stream, get in touch, folks. How do you feel? Let's read some of your messages before we go. Burgoyne saying that the Welsh number 18 has a putrid tash. I didn't see that. Is there a picture of him? Can't see the picture that well from here. Greg says, yes, France have won. Bob Jobs says, yo, win. Wales blew it. They did. That drop would have changed everything, and France would have had to have come out fighting again. Greg saying, bye, Jamie. I hope United will get beat tomorrow. Only joking. I hope not. I bought a ticket, remember? Greg saying, no, France defended good. They did. They needed a bit of luck, but they got it. And you can see the France fans dancing away, and it looks like there's a guy dressed as Jesus with the French flag painted on his cheeks. But yeah, that, I think for France, they knew that was always going to be tough today. Wales wanted a revenge after what happened last year, but France come out fighting again and make it 2 wins in the last 2 tournaments for France. But we have ended the poll, and we did ask you at the start of the match who will win, and 56% of you were correct going for France, while 43% went for Wales. Oh, I've seen it now, Burgoyne. Yes, I've seen him with the tash. It's brilliant. He's got, like, I think he's got all the, because they've got the Guinness logo in the middle of the pitch, and it's a big logo, and there's been a lot of tackles made in that logo, and it's a black square with the Guinness logo in that black square, and he's got it all over his face. Hoof Nagal says, yeah, viva la France. Viva la France. Big game it will be for them next weekend. Then it will be homecoming celebrations at Stade de France if they can get that win against England. Big match that is tomorrow, isn't it, all of a sudden? England versus Ireland, because if England can win it, they still have a chance to steal the Six Nations from under the French nose. Who knows? As an Englishman, I'd love England to win tomorrow. I think that would be fantastic. Anyway, I think we're going to wrap it up here, folks. Thank you very much for watching tonight. Really appreciate your company as always. And if you're new to Let's Talk Sport, click that subscribe button and give us a like. You'll get updated with the latest watch-alongs and future videos on this channel, all for free. So yes, thank you for watching. Congratulations to France. Viva the France. Can they do it in Paris next weekend? Do join me next Saturday at 8 p.m. for France versus England. I'll get my England shirt on, but boy, it will be one hell of an occasion. Good luck to England against Ireland tomorrow. And, of course, Italy playing Scotland. But I think we all know that those 2 teams are out of the running for the championship. So anyway, thanks for watching. We'll see you later. And, yeah, have a good weekend.